Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Pretty Sexy Charlotte Brand, aka Stunner Assassin. And of course, y'all, we are back over here on YouTube for another review of Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 6, Episode 14, titled Small Fry. Mm, interesting title. Let's see how things unfold in Episode 14. So yes, y'all. We pull up to the studio, and of course, our opening scene begins with Trick and Derek Malone and Trick's son Jay. Trick is going by the studio to talk to Derek about the Twins record. Since they had messed up their studio session, he's trying to see what could Derek use with what they had and actually getting Derek to go ahead and produce and make the track. And I love to see that. And it's nothing but love between all the guys when they get in the studio and we get to see a little bit of behind the scenes, the mixing, the mastering, and how everything works. And that is what I'm loving about Love and Hip Hop Miami. You kind of get to see the real ins and outs of what things and how things play within the industry. And to see Trick really go to bat for the Twins really shows that he believes in their talent and their skill. And to see Jay also in the studio with his father, it lets us know that he's probably working on getting back on track in his career. And to just see Derek also in his atmosphere is a lovely thing because you can tell he loves his craft. He loves his platform. He loves what he does. And, Derek plays for Trick what the twins recorded. And, Trick has a suggestion to throw a part on loop. And they call the song Clock That. I think that's a very nice title. And from what Trick is hearing, from what Derek has been working on, he is very pleased and very enthused. And I am like, e. But while they are in the studio and having this conversation, Derek's jeweler comes by, and you know we get to see Derek actually picking out a ring for Angela. He's actually going to propose to her. And I'm excited because that means their relationship has moved to a place where Derek is feeling like it's time he makes her his wife. And to see the jeweler come in the studio, that show you the boy got coin, period. E E. And the jeweler pull out the ring, show Derek the ring. The ring is nice. Dead boy went to bad, okay? But I mean, this is what you're supposed to do for the woman you love. And congratulations to Derek and Angela on their engagement. Um, nice ring. But why Derek is also in the studio, he asks Trick for a little bit of advice because Trick has been married before. And Trick busts us out and say, I bought the engagement ring through the engagement party, walked down the aisle, and he was like, I ain't getting none of it back. You're not supposed to get it back, Trick. It was supposed to be done out of love and care. And, the relationship. But to see this moment is very beautiful. And to see men talk about marriage, love, and happiness, what a great way to open up love and hip hop. Yes. So, y'all, as we get into our next scene, it is our girl, Brooke and Marcus, and they are meeting up because Marcus was gone out of town to do, his music career. And Brooke says she has to tell her man what has been going on in the streets of Miami because, baby, it's been a lot. But, Marcus says he's happy to be back at home and, he wants to talk to Brooke because he can tell that she has been stressed and something has been bothering her. So while they're sitting at the table and having the conversation, Brooke just goes ahead and like everything out. She's like, look here, baby, I went to Tipsy event and, I said between Mara and Princess and, I thought everything was cool. And she says, come to find out, now everybody trying to make it seem like it's my fault because I didn't stand up for Amara. And Brooke is like, that ain't my place or my spot or my job. So why am I doing that? Because that ain't my beef or my issue. And she says, everybody wants to put her at the center, But Amara's a grown woman, and Amara should be able to take up for whatever is going on. Baby, all I know is, why is y'all doing this, Brooke? I don't understand why y'all doing this, Brooke. Brooke is okay. Loving Hip Hop Hollywood. Y'all might want to go back. Y'all might want to watch some recaps. I'm just saying. But while Marcus and her are at the table, Marcus does let Brooke know that he's gonna set up a sit down between Ray J and Princess without Brooke being there, since everyone keeps acting like she is a big cause of problems or issues. And he said he's just gonna sit down with both of them and have a conversation. Y'all, I love Brooke. I love Marcus. They got to fire relationship. But then, y'all, we go from that scene to our next scene. And of course, it is our girl, Pinky Doll. And she's making her way around the streets of Miami and working with the cast, doing her CPN. Yes, yes, yes. Hello. Yes, yes, yes. 1, 2, 3. Me, Pinky Doll. And baby, our girl is working with Trina, Miami Tip, and collaborating with Ching Diamond. And our girl is having a good time out here in these Miami streets. She even collabs with Trick for a promotional video to let the girls know that they're having an event in the Clip Club to premiere their track in the streets of Miami. And I'm living that Pinky Doll is making her way around the city, getting on, and just doing the thing. To see her come from TikTok and really be on the big screen means a lot. We kind of reflect back to when Pinky Doll was in Montreal and she was having a conversation with her sister and about her career. But Pinky Doll says she cannot focus on that because she got to do what she got to do out here in these Miami streets. And I mean, the girl is getting to it, y'all. She chasing her dream. She making it happen, Captain. Cheese. And then, y'all, we go from that scene to our next scene. And of course, it is our boy Bobby. And he is at a hosting that he is having. And baby, the crowd is lit. It's turned. Everybody having a good time. It's all smiles, giggle, and joy, which I expect nothing other than the Scorpio to do in the midst of whatever is happening. And we kind of get a flashback to when Swerve poured the water on Bobby. And Bobby says, at the end of the day, Trina's family and this situation is what it is. And they're going to take care of it when they cross that bridge. Pretty much what that's all you can do. And while Bobby is at his hosting, our girl Miami Tips pull up. And of course, the crowd is going crazy. And baby, Miami Tip sits down with Bobby, and Bobby apologizes for leaving her book event, but he said he had to get out of there after all that had unfolded. And Miami Tip says she understands because she has a bone to pick with someone who did not show up to her event, which is Eliza. And she says, Eliza called herself getting on to Amara for not showing up. But guess what? I showed up to your event, you didn't show up to mine. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. And baby, you know, Bobby, Miami Tip, good people. They got good energy. So I knew once these two got together, it wasn't going to be anything but a tea spilling session. And of course, if since season 1, Bobby and Miami Tip been like this. They've been locked in. But while they are at the Bobby's hosting, also Pinky Doll has come through because Miami Tip is friends with Pinky Doll and wanted Pinky Doll to meet Bobby. And Bobby asks Pinky, what are you gonna do out here in Miami and how you liking Miami so far? And Pinky Doll, gives her input and her perspective. And baby, Bobby says, a lot of people come out to Miami thinking they're gonna be superstars, take over the city by night, not understanding that, a lot of people come to Miami. A lot of people have that same dream. But, he says he's hoping and wishing for the best for Pinky Doll. And so am I, because I mean, hey, she can only go up from here. And we just get a little bit more into Pinky Doll, finding out who she is and how she is, and just to see the girl show more of her personality. It's good to see. But y'all, as we get into our next scene. So y'all, in our next scene is our girl Ching Diamond, and of course, our girl is just very, very sexy because guess what? Her man has been set free. He done made it from Nebraska to Miami, and baby, the girl got the candles, she got the rose petals, she is all up over her man, hugging on him, and this man came in the room with a shirt on saying "my favorite hoe" and got her picture on the back of it. Wild, okay? Wild. But Chinks is all smiles and laughs and giddy giddy. And, soon as she see her man, she just started, taking off his shoes, his glasses, and they get into the bed. But before they get to the romance and the lovey dovey, Ching does let her man know what is going on between her and Zoe and what happened, which we seen in episode 13. And baby, you know, Ching, man, like, what you worry about that for? I'm right here in your face right now. Why are we even talking about that right now? Why are we having a conversation about any of that right now? Well, I mean, I understand why she's bringing it up because guess what? I mean, baby, we on the show. We got to talk about it. This is my real life. This was going on. So we got to kind of discuss that. And then they move from that conversation to then Ching asking her man, what is he going to do now that he is out of incarceration? And what is his plans? Because she needs to know what are they going to do? How are they going to move forward? And he lets Ching know he does want to marry her and he wants to have a child. But, if they have to wait on her career right now, then they will. And, I just say, I'm glad our girl is happy. And, you know, she know this man, so she gonna make the best decision. And that's all we can hope for. I mean, it's her relationship, y'all. Her life, her love. But as we get to our next scene, it is our girl Amara, and she's been trying to get in contact with our girl Estelita, and she says Estelita has been MIA, and she kind of wants to inform her about what has been going on in the streets of Miami and what happened between her and Princess. And she finally does get in contact with Estelita, but, you know, Estelita does not seem like in the best of spirits when she comes to the door. But, she lets Amara in. Amara's like, girl, where have you been? You've been MIA. And Estelita's like, girl, I know you got the tea. I know you want to fill me in. So just come on, sit down. Tell me what's been going on. They sit down. And, baby, Amara gets it cracking. Amara gets the telling from point A to point B about what happened between her and Princess, what happened at the event, how Amara came, I mean, not Amara, Eliza came in there with a shirt on saying that she is a husband stealer. She said just begging for camera time and attention. And she said, it was like the Amara show. Everybody was against Amara. And Estelita is like, girl, are you surprised though? And, you know, after she fills her in on all the tea, our girl Estelita has a very serious moment with Amara. And she, lets us know that when she was a young girl and she was coming up in the strip club scene, she got the shot. And she's finna go have her third surgery, which is very, very life threatening because her doctor said if she does not have this third surgery, it could get into her bloodstream and basically her life could be over. And we actually finally get to see Estelita have a real moment and share about her actually wanting to be a wife and a mom and, just wanting to live. And when I say real moment, because a lot of Estelita moments, we see her like in chaos and confusion, except for her family vacation where we found out a little bit more personal information. But this is very serious, and Estelita is breaking down and confiding in Amara. And Amara's being there for Estelita because they're friends, so I would expect nothing less. But also, why they are having this conversation, Amara then brings up to Estelita that she has been thinking about having children with her ex baby daddy. And she said she don't want to have like the physical contact, more so like he shoot it in a little cup and they inject it into her. And she said because she wants all her kids to have the same father. I completely understand that. Amara said people are gonna look at her strange. Most definitely. But Amara, I mean, no one can judge you for wanting to have all your kids have the same father. Um, I mean, hey, might as well get something good out of life. And if her children are what bring her joy and what bring her happiness, I say no one should knock her for that. I say let her do what she wants to do. And if Alan is willing to do it, I say cheers and more power to you. But Estelita looking at her like, girl, are you sure? Are you sure? But then, y'all, we go into our next scene. Alan shares with Amara that, against his religious belief, he does not believe in making children that way. He feels like they should be conceived through intimacy. And this is where him and Amara have hit a rock in this conversation because Alan's like, I want to feel, I want to caress, I want to be inside you. And Amara's like, no, 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 no. She don't want that. She's like, I want the babies, but not you on side of me. Because they don't benefit me. But the kids, they benefit me. Us, all our children being connected, that benefits me. And she kind of got a point. She ain't really got to lay with him to have babies, but you don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, they do make a decision and they reach a common ground about this decision and topic. And hopefully, Amara gets to expand her family and, you know, her relationship with Alan develops more stronger from their bond and their connection. But y'all, as we move into our next scene, we at the club and baby, it is Trick and Derek. Van is there, the twins is there, and baby, we is in the club for the twins performance, and baby, it's packed. We got the whole city out. Let's just say it's a vibe, and the twins' mother is also here, and baby, she look like she don't play no games, and she's standing on business. The twins looking good. They in the club, they feeling the vibe, they rocking out, rock stars. I see y'all, and baby. The girls look like they are ready to perform and do their thing on stage. And it's just all love. You can just tell. And Trick sits down, he's talking to the twins' mom. He's asking them what's been going on out in Miami since the twins have been out there. And he says he's been getting the girls in the studio. He got them working. They doing what they need to do. They shaking and moving pockets like they need to. Purr. And Trick says the twins' mama is one of his closest friends, and he know if he don't get this right, it's gonna be some. It's let's just say it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. And the twins get on stage, and it's time for them to perform their record. Clock it, and baby, everybody is loving the vibe, the mood. The twins having a good time. The performance is really well in the song. Clock it. Their mama is very proud of them. Like she is so happy. Look, she looking at the girls like, "Come on, twins! I see y'all." And then y'all coming through the door is Pinky Doll. Now y'all know I told y'all earlier Pinky Doll was helping promote this with Trick. She done showed up here in an all white dress, and then we see she's flashing back to this conversation she had with Bobby about making her staple and having a name in the city of Miami. Girl, I don't think Bobby meant like this. I don't think he meant you coming in on someone else's performance and, grabbing a mic and introducing yourself as the Pinky Doll, which you are very beautiful. And the twins is trying to see what is going And the twins' mama is definitely looking like, what is going on? Pinky, not the moment, not the time, definitely not the places, definitely not the place. Cause Pinky, would you want somebody to come and open and ruin your performance? I don't think you would. I'm just saying. That's crazy. That's like real legit OG, like girl. I know this is Love and Hip Hop. It's the drama. But y'all, as we move to our next scene, y'all, we have now reached our next scene and our closing scene, and it is Ray J, Princess, and Marcus, and they're meeting up to have, their sit down, their conversation, and their talk. And baby, let's just say things are about to get very interesting. You can just tell from the vibe and the mood that it's gonna be a moment. And Princess is sharing her thoughts on Brooke and them having to sit down with Marcus. She thinks that it's really not necessary, but okay, want to sit down with her and Ray, have a talk, let's do it. And everybody greets each other. Everything's very mutual, very cordial, very nice. Everything starts off very, very smooth. But of course, in love and hip hop history and sit ups and sit downs, sometimes everything does not go too smooth. And Marcus is hearing Ray out and hearing what Ray is saying, but I don't think Marcus is like feeling it because just like from his body language and his movements and the things that are being said, and how Princess is kind of like smirking beside Ray, it's giving this is cahoots, this is planned, this moment situation. We in it 10 toes together. Even though we getting a divorce, we in this situation, this moment, we 10 toes down. And baby, you know, Ray expresses his opinions, his feelings. Princess is expressing her thoughts and opinions as well. And, as a real man, Marcus is taking it, but he's also, doing his part, defending his relationship, standing on the grounds for both parties. And I love that. But then, as of always, things take a turn. They start to get heated. And baby, before we know it, tables are moved, French fries are thrown, and it's just a lot of movement. A lot of things are happening. Okay, and and Marcus is heated. Ray J came about his shirt. Marcus is about his shirt. Security's in the room. People have been picked up. Princess is standing beside her man. But I mean, like, they still legally married. So I'm not surprised that she's standing beside Ray and being beside him in this very moment in instant. Baby, it is getting crazy. Y'all, I don't know what is going to happen in episode 15, but if it's anything like episode 14, titled Small Fry, baby, it can only be wild and crazy. Oh my gosh. Y'all, it has been your girl, Pretty Six Jar Brand, aka Stoner Assassin. And until next time, you guys, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all be careful. Y'all be safe.